Hey there, friends. Welcome back to another Legally Armed America video. I'm, of course, Paul Glasgow here, the one and only truth pimp, dealing you a vulgar display of logic and reason on a daily basis. Today, I have Rachel Moss from my friends over at Attorneys on Retainer on the show. She's going to help me, I guess, walk through a brand new feature that AOR is offering to its members, which I am one of. And so I'm equally curious, but walking me through what this feature entails and why it's beneficial to those of us who are paid members of Attorneys on Retainer. So check it out. I hope you guys like the video. Hey guys, I've got Rachel again here with Attorneys on Retainer. Rachel, welcome to the show.
Hi, Paul. I'm so happy to be back.
Yeah, you did such a good job last time. We're like, hey, we need to get Rachel back on here and talk about something.
That's right.
AOR has introduced a new policy providing every criminal self-defense felony case client with a 4-attorney trial team. I think that's not only relevant, but super important for the members out there for AOR. So I'm just going to turn it over to you and let you explain the program, not only what it is, but tell me why you guys felt this was a need to add to the program.
Yes, Paul. I think the first thing to keep in mind is that you're going to have 3 attorneys from the Attorneys for Freedom law firm on your team. And then that 4th attorney gets to be an attorney of your choice if you want to make the choice, someone in your local community that you feel comfortable with. If you don't have that 4th attorney in mind, there's no need to worry. We have a network of attorneys we work with, but we'll also seek out who we think is the best for your case. The whole reason we have this benefit is we want to give the best defense possible in any sort of case. And we actually looked at different types of cases that we've seen tried throughout the country. What's one of the common denominators that spells out success? And that's often having multiple attorneys at trial. Me personally, I remember when I was younger, I loved this TV show. It was called American Crime Story, and they told the story of People versus O.J. Simpson. I think we all know the O.J. Simpson case at this point. I loved that show, and I thought it was crazy when you watched that show, seeing all the attorneys that were involved. And these were all-star attorneys, the best in their field. There was Robert Shapiro, Johnny Cochran, F. Lee Bailey, Alan Dershowitz, all these big names that, even the average American knows these guys now. And I just thought it was crazy that someone could have that many attorneys on their team. And as we saw for O.J. Simpson, I mean, I think a lot of us agree that he probably did it. He was found not guilty at the end of the day. And I think a lot of that was because he hired a big team of the right people. And that's what we want to do here. We want to give you a team with the right people on it for your case.
It's funny you brought up the OJ thing. I remember, what was the, is it Marsha, was it Blackburn? Not Blackburn.
Marsha Clark.
Marsha Clark, yeah. I remember her because for some reason I can't get her Jerry curl looking hair out of my mind. When you brought that up, that's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, wow. So this is what I think of when I think of a mid-90s hairdo, right? So
there was a whole episode on that show about her hair too. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're not
That's
wrong.
hilarious. Oh gosh, that's funny. So let me ask you a couple things, and I think that the approach is awesome because I feel like, and you being an attorney would probably be able to expand on this a lot better than me, but I also feel like there's somewhat of a psychological aspect to the courtroom as well. I mean, say what you want about you being on the inside. I'm on the outside. It is a bit of a show. There's a bit of a show. And I think that, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but I mean, clearly, if it didn't matter, everybody would talk in the same monotone tone of voice with no emotion or whatever. So clearly there's a bit of an aspect of, hey, this is what we got. And I think that, I don't mean this from an intimidation standpoint, but I feel like from a confidence standpoint of one of the clients of AOR, I would feel better knowing that I've got a team behind me when I walk in, instead of and I don't mean this in the wrong way, some little old lady with a little collapsible file where papers are falling out of it. That's my team. No, I would rather point and say, that's my team. So I think that it's a really good image. I think that it shows that you mean business, but I also think it shows that you didn't hire the budget company to represent you. I think that's huge. I never want to feel like I paid the least amount of money that I could get by with. And certainly if I'm carrying a firearm, I certainly don't want to look like I went to the lowest bidder. I'm not saying you guys are the highest. I'm just saying I don't want that appearance of looking like I got a budget coverage for my right to carry a firearm in case I had to use it. So I think that that's an excellent approach right there. One thing that I do want to point out, and I'm curious of this, I don't know this answer. Are you guys now like the only firm dedicated to entirely self-defense cases in the Second Amendment community?
Yes, we are the only firm in the United States that is exclusively committed to self-defense cases.
I mean, I'm sure you guys market that, but what an
Oh,
absolutely
yeah.
great marketing ploy that is. I mean, to let people know that, yeah, we don't dabble in the, the other things. If somebody hits you from behind, we're not your guy. We're looking at self-defense type issues, and I think that's cool. I think to set that bar in the industry like that. I think you guys should be commended for that. And I'm not just trying to stroke you guys' ego. I think that sometimes you can establish yourself by saying, we're here. Now, what's the best you can do? And I think that's huge that you guys have set that industry standard.
Yeah, what I always tell people is we don't want to settle here. We want everyone to have the best defense possible. And part of that has been building a team of people that specialize in self-defense cases. And this is what we do. We practice this in the courts. We teach this to other lawyers. And we learn this. We study this. We write this. This is all we do. And if you're going to trial on something that could affect the rest of your life, this is your life you're dealing with these types of cases, murder cases, aggravated assault cases. The stakes are really, really high. And when the stakes are this high, you want people that this is what they live and breathe. And that's exactly what we do at Attorneys for Freedom. And we love it. I mean, I don't do this just because I want to make money or, have a cool job. I truly love working on these types of cases.
Speaking of the 4-attorney team, are there any limits? Say if I'm a member, are there limits to who gets the 4-attorney team for their defense or who doesn't?
So when it comes to the program, we offer the 4-attorney benefit to anyone going to trial on a felony case where they can assert self-defense as that defense. So we don't offer those exclusions that many other companies have. It doesn't matter if your self-defense case involved drinking. It doesn't matter if you were in a gun-free zone. We still offer that 4-attorney benefit regardless. As long as you hit our 3 criteria for coverage, and as long as it's a felony case, then you have that 4-attorney benefit at trial.
So, and you bring up an excellent point, and this is not necessarily a sales pitch, so to speak, because I am a customer of you guys, by the way. I'm a paying member of AOR, but I know my reasons. But is there a situation where coverage, let's say, would be denied? And I'm talking about any situation, whether it's fine print in the wording or whether it's the details surrounding the actual act or incident that took place.
So we want to be very clear about this because I know sometimes there's issues with complicated contracts and hidden exclusions, but really, if you want to know if you're covered or not, you just have to go back to those 3 criteria for coverage. The first one, that you are charged with a crime or reasonably expect to be charged with a crime. The second being that you can assert self-defense or defense of others in good faith and reasonably as a defense to that crime. And then the third criteria is that the charges arose fully after you became a member of Attorneys on Retainer. So as long as you meet those 3 criteria for coverage, you will be covered. Of course, there's things that fall outside of that coverage. So if your incident happened before you signed up for Attorneys on Retainer, too bad, not covered. The 4-attorney benefit does not come into play. Or if you can't reasonably or in good faith assert self-defense, let's say if it's clear that this was a premeditated situation, if you can't tell us that you were acting in self-defense or defense of others, it won't be covered. But again, those 3 criteria for coverage, if you meet it, we're there for you.
So we're not talking about like super duper fine print that I need to read. That's not where my exclusions are going to be. It's going to be on the actual act that took place that we're actually requesting any kind of protection from.
Exactly. It's just all right there in those 3 criteria. Because what I always like to say is we are criminal defense attorneys. Some of these other companies, you might be dealing with insurance representatives and they might have a network of attorneys that they hire for you, but we're criminal defense attorneys. This is what I do. I like the hard cases. I love cases that have that extra little bit of complication. If someone was in a gun-free zone, give that case to me. I like that extra challenge because this is what I do. I'm a criminal defense attorney. So we have those 3 criteria for coverage, but otherwise, if you meet them, you're covered.
I'm curious, and I'm thinking out loud here. I'm thinking of what the benefits of a 4-attorney team would be for me, knowing that 3 of them are from you guys. I'm just thinking, if I were in a situation, and I certainly don't want to imply that it's all just for show to have this look of muscle behind you. Clearly, there are different angles. I mean, different people are approaching things from a different standpoint. Two attorneys could probably be educated and have the exact same degree from the exact same institution, but approach things totally differently. I mean, we're all different. I'm just thinking of the instance where you guys took care of Joseph up in New York. And I remember thinking, and I don't remember who it was, but you guys located the camera across the street, like diagonally
Mhm.
from where the incident took place. And I know that there was a lot of work that took place outside of the video, so I'm not minimizing that additional work. But after having seen the video and seeing how Joseph responded in the middle of the street after being attacked, it was obvious to me that he was not the one instigating.
Mhm.
So I feel like that's probably a big advantage. If you have 4 attorneys total, 3 from you guys, you're going to have a totally different, somebody might think of something that the other 2 haven't thought of. And I think that's a huge deal because the clock is ticking in an instance like this whenever there's a self-defense case that took place.
That's so true. And that's been a big goal at Attorneys for Freedom, that we want to assemble a team, different age levels, different genders. You know, we want to have a good team where you can get a variety of experiences and perspectives on your case. I think a lot of people don't realize how sometimes this plays in. And it's actually a big part of trial strategy to determine which lawyer does which thing at trial. Something I always remind people of: your self-defense case could possibly be a domestic violence case, or it could involve a minor. And often we've found in studies that juries respond better when a female attorney actually will cross-examine a woman who's a domestic violence victim, as they might say, or a minor. And you might want a woman on the team for that specific part of the trial. Then you might bring a different attorney in to do the closing statement. So there's a lot of different little puzzle pieces that come together in a trial. And that's part of what we do. We have those different levels of experience, different perspectives, so we can give you that best puzzle piece fitting together moment at trial. And it's really cool just when you see the team that we've assembled. We have attorneys with over 30 years of experience, like Mark Victor and Joey Hamby. They're just excellent attorneys. And they're both criminal law specialists, which is a really hard certification to get in Arizona. It means that you've done a lot of trials, a lot of crazy cases, a lot of serious cases. And there's only, out of the 20,000 or so attorneys in Arizona, like 80 something criminal law specialists. So it's pretty impressive that we have 2 of them at our firm. And then we have Andrew Marcantel, who, if you see him talk, he knows how to speak to a jury.
Yeah.
He is someone that can just really be so engaging in front of a jury. He's done excellent in trials. Then we have me, attorney Emma Whitman, as well. Emma is such an impressive attorney. If you hear her, she's one of those innovative minds. If you meet her, she will come up with ideas for a case that have never been done before. So Mark and Andy have sought out this team of attorneys that they think will be the best to put you in the best position for trial. And we are very strategic on how we use each member of our team. So I personally just love being a part of the team for that collaborative effort. It makes my job more fun, but more importantly, it gives everyone that's a member of Attorneys on Retainer a really good defense at trial.
Interesting point about I wanted to bring up about the response time. I know that one of the things that I've never been in a situation where I needed to call someone for help, and knock on wood, hopefully that never happens. However, I have put myself in the shoes of other people who have either had to draw their firearm or use it. And one of the things that I've always wondered is, what is response time in a situation where you have to do that? Like, am I sitting around the house wondering, I wonder if AOR got my call, or I wonder if they're working on my case? I mean, how quickly do attorneys move in a situation like this?
Very, very quickly is what I'll say. So basically, if you call the attorneys on retainer emergency line, you'll be connected to a receptionist. They'll get your information and then they'll connect you to an attorney who's able to handle your case. The whole process to get to an attorney takes under a couple minutes. It's very, very quick. And as soon as we take the call, we are working on the case. We're alerting the full strike force team that there is a new case. And the strike force, while I'm on the phone with you, or maybe Emma's on the phone with you, or Andy's on the phone with you, the rest of the strike force is actively doing things to work on your case. They might be calling local attorneys to see who's available, who might be the best fit for your particular case. They might be looking for our investigator, getting them ready to head out to the scene. They might be pulling information, doing background checks on witnesses. There's a lot that happens in just that first few minutes, hours after a self-defense incident. And we have your back from the beginning. And trust me, it is so quick. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. I've taken calls at 3 a.m. From my apartment before. So it doesn't matter when it happens, where it happens, we'll be responding right away.
Well, I remember when talking with Joseph and Andy regarding that New York incident that you guys were victorious in. Obviously, you guys jumped on it fast because you were able to get the video from across the street before it got re-recorded over, because it cycles over. And I thought that was impressive that, you're on the other side of the country and you guys were able, with the help of a local attorney, to obtain that video before it got recorded over. Imagine how hard that case would have been to win without that video.
Yeah, it's so critical to do things like that. And that's another thing that we do after a self-defense incident occurs. We look at all that evidence that may need to be preserved. And I think that sets us apart from a lot of other cases where you might get your attorney assigned after a week or so after you're involved. Evidence could be destroyed, like you said, for many common videos. Sometimes they're recorded over within a week, sometimes even less. Sometimes they re-record every day. And so you want your attorneys on that right away. We always contact the companies that might have video cameras. We send out preservation letters to make sure that they're aware that we're going to need that video. We just want to be on it from the beginning.
Got you. I'm curious. We've talked about this before, and I think every time I talk to you guys, we cover this. Mm-hmm. If I'm involved in a self-defense situation, I'm asking this because I think it's important we bring it up every time. What is the first thing that I do, and what is the one thing I don't do if I have to use my firearm?
So the first thing you do is actually, I will say that does depend. If someone's life is in danger at that time, yours or someone else's, the first thing you do, call 911, give them the simple information that there was an incident, we need medical attention, this is the address, hang up. Bar that, if someone's life is not currently in danger, call us right away. We will be working on your case right away, give you the specific advice that you need in that situation. But the thing you don't do is often even more important. The thing you don't do is make a ton of statements to officers. That includes when you make that 911 call. That's why if you have to make a 911 call, you keep it simple. But when an officer comes to the scene, you do not make any statements. You let them know, I'm not making any statements. I want my lawyer. That's it. That's all you say to the officer. They might push you, but often once you say, I want my lawyer, they respect that. They listen to that. And you're not putting yourself in a situation where you're saying something that could sink your whole case. One of the worst things in a criminal case is a bad statement that you made. So that just prevents all of that from happening. As we like to say here, just shut up.
Well, and to your point, I think good people who have good intentions want to accommodate law enforcement because it feels like the right thing to do, right? I mean, it's a polite thing to do. If a law enforcement officer is asking you something, you want to tell them generally as a decent person. In fact, I want to go on record now saying that I want to use this as my record of going on the record that if I ever tell a law enforcement officer, I'm not saying anything to you, it's for this reason, not because I'm guilty. I'm not trying to hide anything.
Blame it on us.
Because I mean, it's true. I think most people feel like, oh, if I tell them I want to talk to my attorney, it looks like you're assuming that, oh, I'm guilty. I did something wrong and now I need protection for it. And that's not the case. It's because, I mean, how many people have misremembered when stating something that just happened. I mean, there's statistics out there about witnesses and how much they get wrong whenever they make statements. You know, and literally they're commenting on something that literally just happened. So to your point, I mean, I think that's probably a super important thing, but I understand the willingness to want to spill your guts right away to let law enforcement know that you're not guilty. But I think the point is that's not the place to do it. You'll have your chance to do it.
Yeah, these officers are usually good people. They're just trying to do their job. They're doing what, as citizens, we probably want them to do, to try to thoroughly investigate a case and get justice. But when your life is on the line, when you're at risk of, you know, potentially being arrested, convicted, spending time in prison, it's the time that you're still polite with the officer, you're still friendly, you treat them respectfully, but you have to be firm in that you're not making any statements, that you're talking to a lawyer.
Okay, I want to pivot just a quick second. We have something coming up that's pretty cool in February with you guys. I'm going to read what I know so far, and I'm going to let you add to that. It's going to be the Association Conference, the Attorneys for Freedom, Attorneys on Retainer Conference. It's going to be February 20th and 21st of 2026 in Mesa, at the Mesa Convention Center in Mesa, Arizona. Went to the inaugural one last year and it was awesome. It was so cool to meet a lot of the members. Tell me who can go and what to expect once you go.
So anyone can sign up for the Attorneys on Retainer conference. We have special pricing for Attorneys on Retainer members. So if you go to our website, attorneysonretainer.us, you can check it out, buy your tickets today. What you can expect is just a really great time of learning about self-defense and getting the tools you need to better be prepared to defend yourself in the future. So we'll have both legal experts and tactical experts at this conference to give you kind of a well-rounded idea about self-defense. And I think, Paul, you left out an important part, that you're actually going to be on a panel this year.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. It was a lot of fun last year. And I think that this year it's Jared with Guns and Gadgets and Anthony with Armed Scholar are going to be there as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I think one of the biggest things that those of us that create content get out of this is when you finally get to speak with some of the people that you've gotten to know through the comment section or through emails, because a lot of people send us content suggestions and things like that through our own emails. So to be able to do that, it was cool, because last year I felt like there was probably 4 or 5 guys that I met, and a couple of them I still stay in touch with. So it's neat to be able to engage with those folks out there that are kind of, you meet them through a business relationship, but you become friends with them.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Such a good time to network with people from all across the country that have the same goals and values that we do, that we want to protect the Second Amendment, and that we're passionate about our right to self-defense in this country. So it's a really great time. I had a blast last year, and I'm just looking forward to go myself. I mean, of course, I'll be doing some presenting there, but just to attend is really fun, just for me personally as well.
So I have to ask you this, because I'm in South Louisiana. What's the weather like in mid-February in Mesa?
I think you'll love it. You'll love it. It's not going to be hot yet. You're not going to have to suffer through that famous 110-degree Phoenix summer weather. It's going to be perfect weather. It's going to be, you're not even going to need a jacket. It's just going to be nice and warm outside, but not too warm.
Nice. Well, looking forward to it. And if anybody, by the way, does go to your website, attorneysonretainer.us, make sure to use my discount code FTATF for savings if you're signing up for the program, because you will get immediate savings whenever you do that. So definitely go check them out. Rachel, I love the new program addition. I think that's awesome. I think it's going to benefit members in so many different ways. And kudos to you guys. I mean, I already thought you guys had the best product out there. And again, I'm not patronizing you. But to continue to improve on the program, I think is important. I mean, for us to get complacent and sit back and say, oh, we have the best program, cool, and then you rest, I don't think that's ever a good idea, because the way I look at it, my competition is always trying to reach me. So if I'm on top, I have to get further ahead. And I feel like you guys have done that here. And again, kudos to that. I mean, it makes me even more proud to be part of you guys' team.
Well, thank you, Paul. I mean, we're just excited to be able to provide this benefit to everyone. And you're right, we're going to keep on improving, keep on making our program better. But we encourage everyone to take advantage of this new benefit now go ahead and upgrade if you haven't already. Lock in your rates. That's another important thing, that if you sign up by the end of this year, you're locking in your rates through 2030. So that's another good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, real quick, I don't want to go over that too quickly. I think that's an important piece of it, that you're locking it in for 5 years, and anybody who gets in after the deadline, you're susceptible to any potential increases to the cost of the program as it might go up. Let's face it, if you add another feature to the program, that may add additional cost to it or something like that. So, obviously the economy, that can always have an impact on it. So I think it's important. I don't want people to panic, but at the same time, be aware that you have the benefit of locking in a really good deal right now for 5 years or 4.5 years, however long it's going to be. So I think that's super important that we make sure that that is not glossed over too quickly.
Definitely. So hopefully everyone, if you're interested in Attorneys on Retainer, you can sign up now. Again, you can always check us out at attorneysonretainer.us. And also follow us on YouTube, just to give a little plug right here. We're almost to 100,000 subscribers. So nice. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, very cool. Well, good. Well, look, Rachel, as always, thanks for taking part in this. I appreciate it, and I really respect you guys coming on here and sharing your expertise, because it's clearly a field that I'm not good at, but I have tons of questions regarding you guys' field. So always grateful that you come on here, and looking forward to seeing all of you guys in February over there in Mesa.
We're excited. Thank you, Paul.
Don't forget, guys, if you're looking for a book to educate yourself and to educate the idiots out there who can't think for themselves regarding mass shootings, go to damnliars.net. Again, damnliars.net, and get my brand new book, Damn Liars.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
It's hanging around.